Ocoee, Florida. Ocoee, Florida is a very small town in central Florida. Population scattered. I'm in the old downtown part of the city, and in their own way, they're trying to revitalize it. Every town that in America seems to have an old part where they make it seem like it's historical. So the church is actually the oldest church. Now, whether it's anyone attends or not, I have no idea. But you can see it's early in the morning, and nobody really gets up here in Florida until about 10. So this golden girl was up early this morning deciding, hey, I need to get some stuff done. The price of gas is high, along with everything else in the world. Florida relies mainly on tourism to make a living for the state. Now, what the state realized was tourism can't be the only thing that this place exists on. Because without the foreign dollars, without the people coming in, literally nobody has a job. Everybody's broke. There has to be a point where this state does something other than tourism. Agriculture, what have you. But they've built a whole state around tourism, and that doesn't always work, especially when people aren't going to be spending money on vacation, but rather on food and a roof over your head. So I'm going back down to the older part of town, and I found some new interesting buildings where they've kept some older parts of the town. But yet again, nothing is open until late in the afternoon on a Friday. Another thing Florida's famous for, especially Orange County, is taking green space and ripping it up to accommodate all the people that want to move down here. And that it's a cycle where they build so many new homes, and then the people go back to where they came from after a while. They become disenchanted with Florida life. They find it's boring, or it's not what they thought it would be. They sell, they move up, and they go. It's been a vicious cycle forever and ever. When I came back to the area to retire, I found that nothing has changed. So there's an old diner across the street that I had heard about that made the best breakfasts. It's called the Ocoee Cafe. You'll see it coming up. I thought, oh, great place to get some breakfast at a local place, because you know the local small places serve the best food, plentiful meal, and you get a really good, relaxing atmosphere. And what do I see? Gutted. But look at the sign. You could tell that's an oldie but a goodie. That's an original sign. That dates back to the 50s or 60s. And so you could see it's being re-gutted. And what they'll turn that into, I have no idea. It might be a bar. So I found an interesting building. that I thought was kind of cool. It's the old City Hall. The old City Hall, this used to be a one-horse town, folks. And a long time ago in the 80s, this used to be nothing but where country people used to like to be. And it was kind of runnish down, you know. It's like a lot of old small towns were back then. But it being Florida and them trying to make a buck anywhere they go, they eventually started revitalizing it. And Ocoee's kind of sort of start to become a great place to go be, but they still have a long way to go. So this is, or was, the old City Hall. That's now an antique store, lifestyle emporium, whatever you call it. But can you just imagine what an interesting building that is? That's an old Art Deco style building. But as you can see, this is sort of what serves. It's not much of anything. It's just they're trying to do what they can with limited means. There's, I guess, a brewery there. We're on McKee Street, interesting light. And then there's some buildings down there that we'll look at. Freaking, isn't that cool? That's not a bad price for that chair, $65. If it's coasters, see the coasters? You know that's an old chair dating back to the mid-1900s to the 20s. And there you have a cut glass carafe. Yeah, they got some interesting stuff here. I'll have to come back. So let's take a little bit of a trip. They're bringing, Lord knows what that is. Yeah, would you like that for your living room? So a hair salon that's not open up. I don't know what they're going to do with it. And then there's an embroidery shop, a bookstore across the street, which is kind of cool. And then a coffee shop. All right, folks. This ends our tour in downtown Ocoee. Not much. But I hope you enjoyed this trip with me. And we'll have more adventures soon. Bye.